Hi, I'm Chick Henry, proud recipient of the Rare Spares Legend Award. You know, I've built quite a few cars over the years, and I know what it takes to build a full restoration or build an award-winning show car that's more like a piece of automotive art. And you know what? I wish I'd had access to professional advice and instruction on how to fit some of the parts I needed. But now, through the Rare Spares Shed Talk series, we're proud to bring you the latest information on products and the best installation techniques for you. So keep an eye on the Rare Spares website, and on behalf of Rare Spares, we're so proud to be able to bring you the Shed Talk series to help you build a fantastic car and enjoy your motoring passion.
Shed Talk, brought to you by Rare Spares.
Welcome to Shed Talk. In this edition, we're going to take you through the correct fitment process for an FJ Holden door seal. Before you start, the doors must be removed from the body shell. The body opening must be clean of any sealants and glues. You must prep the body shell and the door seal before you start gluing. In this edition of Shed Talk, we're going to take you through the points of fitting a door seal correctly in an FJ. Bearing in mind the 48 series through to EK is the same principle. The doors must be removed off the vehicle, making sure that the aperture is totally clear of any glues, foreign particles and rubber. So we'll remove the door and make a start. Once the door is removed, I've found that the best option you have is to grab the rubber and you actually dry fit this before you start to glue. So if you are aware of how the rubber sits into the frame, it'll make it a lot easier when it comes time to put the glue in place. And as even a dry fit here now, the rubber tends to roll in sometimes and roll back. So if you have a plastic, well, I suppose you'd call it a scraper or a point, you can then push the rubber back into the opening and straighten the rubber up. Again, it's not 5 minutes work, but if you take time, it'll come out really well. Before you even start to fit the door seal, you need to have a preparation fluid to rub the rubber down, because all rubber is being made with a release agent. If you don't clean it off, sometimes it won't grab and stick properly. So basically that's it as a dry fit. You can do this as many times as you like to be sure that you're happy with the way it's going to sit. Okay, once you've put this in position dry and you're happy with the way it lines up with the door opening on the inside edges, then you can pull the thing out, and basically you need to prep the rubber with, say, a Prepsol or paint preparation fluid. I would not use thinners because it can remove paint, especially if your car's been repainted. So before you start, I recommend that you cut the rubber on the 45-degree angle so it's in position. So basically having that tucked in the corner first needs to be there. So like I said, it's about a hand's width back. Then you put a wriggle line on the frame, on the body. If your floor is dirty or dusty, don't put the rubber on the floor because it'll pick up contaminants, which will affect how it glues into the frame. Once you've put some of the glue in position and you have it set up so it's in there level, it's best to press the rubber back against it to the frame because it spreads the glue in the back of it, so it actually aids the grip. So then you start the next one. So I only ever do it about a hand's width at a time, otherwise you end up with glue everywhere, and this type of glue is about 5 to 10 seconds and it's all over. So you do have to be careful, and it's one glue that I know well that less is more. The trick with these door seals is having the glue contact the back edge of the rubber, because There's been the odd occasion, if you don't do that, the door rubber will leak water. When you get down near the door area, the lock where it changes the direction of the door opening, you're better off to actually glue it bit by bit as you go, because if you don't get this seated right, because it changes in the angles, you need to do this and be careful around the striker. If it's been removed, you can just keep going straight down. So basically, again, you do it in stage by stage. You do have to make sure on any early model door seal glue-in that you take care on the corners to make sure the rubber has actually gone into the curvature correctly, otherwise you can have trouble. So once that's in position and you're happy with the way it's all coming down following the body line, you just keep moving forward, like I said, taking care with the corners to make sure the rubber is located and glued into position. So once you get to here, which is about the same distance for the other side, I recommend you cut the rubber off and trim it back to marry up to the other side. Then you glue the corner together, then you can complete gluing the rubber into the body. The worst thing you can do is cut it off exactly at the same height and then find out after you've cut a couple of goes, you're actually running short on the rubber. So that's the only way to do it properly without any headache. Okay, so once you've finished the corner off and you're happy with it and made sure it's stuck down, I recommend you need to check the rest of the door seal to make sure you've not missed anything. So if the rubber's lined up and straight with the body shell and the opening, I think you're fairly good to go. So then it would be time to put the door on. So once you've put the door back on the hinges, you need to check to make sure you have clearance all down the B-pillar. So otherwise you could risk chipping paint off, but once it's in place and secured and you've checked the striker, it's as simple as that for a door seal. So another quality part by Rare Spares.
On behalf of Rare Spares, I hope we will be of value to you and your car building passion.
Shit Talk, brought to you by Rare Space.